Greetings, race fans. We are in for yet another race of In the Zone Racing's ARCA Series here tonight. We are at Echopark Speedway, always known as Atlanta in my books, Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Super Speedway package as it is now known of. And tonight it is 75 laps for In the Zone Racing's ARCA Series. They've got themselves a new title sponsor to go with it. So now known as the ITZR ARCA Series, presented by the Islander in home of the Nauti Perch Swim Up Bar. We had a week off from racing action last week with Labor Day. Labor Day was a nice reprieve for these drivers that might have needed a break to catch their breath after all the chaos and carnage we've seen the last couple weeks. So as things sit here in practice right now, Kieran Church fastest at a 30.55. It's kind of hard to gauge off of practice when you get in packs here for Super Speedway practicing. Fastest laps are going to be hard to decipher until we get single car runs to determine it. After 4 races, your points leader is Dylan Bates, who has won 1 of the first 4 races. Peyton Howell, who'd won 2 of the first 4, sits in second in the points. Well, as we are now into the final 3.5 minutes of practice here, we'll be getting into qualifying shortly. Looks like we've got about 30 cars lined out here tonight to run the 75 lap Atlanta event here tonight. Tonight's race might be a little bit of a wild card event, as we've seen a lot of short track racing to start out this ITZR ARCA Series. And with a super speedway, it's pretty much anyone's game here tonight. Might see some shakeups, might see a driver win that's on the far reach for the playoff picture. So Atlanta could be a game changer here tonight. I'm excited to be on the call here. There's only 1 minute left now here in practice. Alrighty, as practice is winding down here, we've got 30 cars lined up to qualify here tonight. That should mean everyone's making it into the main event here tonight. No one's going to be sent home. Everyone gets a shot at the big win here tonight. As the teams get their qualifying trim thrown on the car real quick, we're going to see drivers take to the field here for a couple laps around Atlanta and single car qualifying. First to come off onto the race line here, it's going to be the 92 of Dylan Schreiner. Without my own prior knowledge, I would say that this is a teammate car to Dylan Bates. Number style looks similar. I could be mistaken, but it's an educated guess here, seeing that the 91 stylings and the 92 stylings are very similar. Trying to keep an eye on which drivers might be the hot one here in qualifying. Daniel Pope has been really good. We've always seen him qualify decently. Go ahead and let Dylan Schreiner finish his lap here. And Dylan Schreiner, third fastest. What did I say? I thought Dylan Pope would be a good one to keep an eye on. He's already top of the charts, tied for first. Bill Tomer took the fast lap there, though. Must be a tiebreaker goes to who gets the lap first would be my guess. So obviously the second lap's going to be key here for Daniel Pope the second as he goes way down on the apron. Try to get as much speed out of that lap as he can. And that's going to be good for second fastest as Dylan Schreiner, the guy we were watching on that first run, was quickest here. Mike Alexander, who was credited with the win a couple weeks back. And that would have been at Kern County if I'm not mistaken. He completes his second lap here. Jumps up to fifth in the charts. Corey Bigley on the warm-up lap here. Bladen Edwards jumps to the top. Corey Bigley might be a threat. We'll see. Some surprising takeaways early in qualifying here. It looks like Dylan Bates qualified 9th. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Corey Bigley's only able to jump up to 18th on his second lap there. Tyler Rice finished his first lap. We'll see how his second lap goes here. It's definitely not a car you can miss. You'll see that hot pink from just about any angle on track. .15th quickest for Tyler Rice after his second lap in the books. And Jacob Boehm up, warming up here, getting up to speed on his warm-up lap. So far, fastest in qualifying here is Bladen Edwards at a 32.5. Looks like tiebreaker goes to Bladen Edwards over Dylan Schreiner, who both set identical laps for the front row. Second row, you got another pair of identical times with Eric Myers and Larson Parker with 32.51. It looks like qualifying timed out here. And our starting lineup here tonight. Starting up at the top of our lineup, it's going to be Bladen Edwards, Dylan Schreiner, Eric Myers, Larson Parker, Todd Guerin, Daniel Pope II, Eric Tracy, Jason Lottridge, Tim Weinreich, and Dylan Bates with 10th in his qualifying session, your current points leader. Cody Boehm and Mike Alexander round out the top 12 here. Denver Travis, Bill Tomer, Tyler Rice, Aaron Abendroth, David Hill, Matthew Barkhouse, Corey Bigley, AJ Rogers, Rick Rube, Jeff By Jr. And then you got Caleb Hill, Zachary Onen, TJ Allain, Will Dravicki, Brandon Elvis, Josh Oswald, Kiernan Church, and Jacob Boehm rounding out the field here tonight. 30 cars made the field, 30 cars attempted to qualify. A very odd emission from the field. I do not happen to see doesn't seem like there's any Peyton Howell out there, the guy that had 2 wins on the season. So this is going to be a shakeup in the point standings for sure if Peyton Howell's absent. Yeah, sure enough, I don't see Peyton Howell. It's going to be Dylan Bates here tonight, with his next competitor for that championship being Eric Tracy, who qualified top 10 as well. Nice thing about the In the Zone Racing ARCA Series, it's always going to keep us guessing. There's always going to be some curveballs thrown at us in terms of storylines and drivers and overall the racing that it provides. It's exciting, frantic, and chaotic. Some folks definitely probably hoping it's a little bit less chaotic here tonight at Atlanta. We'll definitely see super speedway racing can go one of 2 ways. It's either a big pile up or it's a very calm, collected up until the last laps. Which one are we going to get here tonight? Is it going to be chaos, or is it going to be meticulously calculated for these star ARCA drivers? The pace car pulls off. The flagman is ready to wave. The green flag. Time to go racing here at Atlanta. Bladen Edwards off to the early lead here. And they roll down the backstretch as they're getting the draft established. These cars are pretty slow to get up to speed. But here we are rolling around Atlanta. Nearly full pace now. These ARCA stars are trying to get a feel for what they've got here tonight. They've only got 1 set of tires, so they got to make what they've got count. There is no perks of being able to go down pit road and get extra tires all night. With only 1 set, it's kind of save your stuff or use it up. Bladen Edwards holding the lead steadily here. That'll be about 2 or 3 laps now at control for the number 72. And now it's going to be Eric Myers to the lead with a good push from Todd Guerin, getting him up to the top spot. Bladen Edwards falls back to 4th at the moment. He's going to try to use that outside line to get some drafting help. Outside line's trying to get established here. That inside line's working together really well. They don't want to get too far ahead. The more they draft together and push away from the rest of the pack means they're going to be a sitting duck losing the draft. So kind of want to be calculated here and try not to get too far ahead. And outside with a big run, that is the 72 of Bladen Edwards coming back around the outside. Here he is charging side-by-side drag race down the backstretch. The 13, it looks kind of ugly. He's trying to keep it from spinning out at times. It looks like not very happy in the draft. The 96 and the 13 don't seem to be meshing well together at the moment, as that loses them the lead and gives the 72 back the top position. So first caution of the night here. And it looks like maybe was Bill Tomer. Yep, there we go. It was a spinner with the number 5 of Bill Tomer getting spun at the back of the field. Nothing he did wrong there, just a unfortunate circumstance, it looks like. With the 65, I want to say that is Aaron Abendroth in the 65, unfortunately spun him out there. So that'll be our first caution of the night. As you can see, the arrow doing its job on these the arrow the arrow kit, keeping that car from flipping over. It wanted to get a little bit of air there, but it stayed glued to the ground. And this is surprising. I wouldn't imagine people taking tires right out of the gates here. Some strategies unfolding here on lap 8 of 75. One set of tires, you're going to have to make them count tonight. I can see a quick gas and go, though, for some of these teams that are trying to get off strategy a little bit. Because that's, yeah, the 13 of Todd Guerin came down pit road. The 92 of Dylan Schreiner. Matthew Barkhouse. Kieran Church. Jacob Boehm. Corey Bigley. Jeff By Jr. And Bill Tomer getting some work done on the number 5 after getting spun out at the back half of the field. Looks like Bladen Edwards is going to lead them to the restart here tonight on our first caution restart. Larson Parker, Eric Myers, Daniel Pope II, and Dylan Bates, your top 5. Of our title contenders, it looks like Dylan Bates running in about 5th, 6th right now. Cody Boehm is also in the title hunt. AJ Rogers, who is at the moment in 15th. And Eric Tracy, of course, who is running in 6th, right there alongside Dylan Bates. So a lot of our top 5 in points hanging in there solidly so far at the start of this one. Tomer's still on pit road after getting spun. So apart from Bill Tomer on pit road, it looks like we've got most of our cars still out there running. 27 of them on track, 3 of them on pit road actually. As they're gonna lift the caution period here, we're gonna be back to racing on lap 10 here at Atlanta.
Green, green, green.
And that was one big jump out of the 72. That was a start. Can't confirm if that was clean or not, but it was definitely a start. '18 of Larson Parker right up on the back bumper of the 72 now. He's going to be tasked with either drafting or finding a way around the 72 here. He's running right up on the back bumper. There's barely room to slip a piece of paper between the two of them. And they're coordinating together right now at least. For how long? That's to be determined. As you can see, that second car in line keeps sticking his nose down low to try and get a little bit of clean air. It's a very sound strategy when it comes to super speedway plate racing like this. And you can also see the extension on the back bumper to have those cars almost as flat to the ground as possible. Gives these cars a good bumper to push on to keep them from spinning out. The aerodynamics on these things are a modern marvel sometimes. It's crazy that they don't spin out more often. Here we go, the 11 of Daniel Pope II driving around the high side. We're going to have 2 lanes of traffic established here. 72 cuts high to try and block the run on the outside. He's going to block low to try and cut the run short on the inside. To be a winner at these tracks, you need to be masterful at blocking the runs without wrecking. They weren't able to stop that outside line, though. That 11 is on a tear at the moment. The good push from the 75 of Mike Alexander. Race winner on the season already. He's blowing by the front of the leader here. New to the front of the field, we have not seen him in any of the other races this year. TJ Allain, number 51. It's got a nice teal colors you can see there. Trying to get an eye on the car to see what Great Lake Sim. So I'd wager a Michigan-based driver. Yeah, Great Lake Sim on YouTube and Facebook. TJ Allain. Hometown Petoskey. Making his first in the zone racing ARCA start here tonight, at least in 2025. I don't have the record books of in the zone racing prior to the revival here, when they're getting a little bit out of control back there. Here on lap 17. Hopefully it stays green. Everyone looks like they kind of picked up the pieces there. I'm not trying to miss any of the chaos, but we're going to keep our eyes focused on the battles up front here. This will be the bread and butter of tonight's event, fighting for the race win. As the drivers got it all sorted in the back, and now it's about a 15 car breakaway at the front of the field. A second pack has kind of fallen off there. TJ Lane makes some great moves there in the number 51 as he's trying to get up to second. 96 pulls off. That is Eric Myers. Must not have been happy with the car or something went awry to be pitting during a live green flag run like this. Whoa, and they get a little bit out of control. The 3 saves it. Man, what a wild looking ride there from number 3 of David Hill. Our lead pack continues to shrink in size here as things get a little bit chaotic, but things stay green as we're now rolling into lap 21 here tonight. Daniel Pope II, who's currently leading right now, sits 11th in the points. He's missed a race this year. He's only had 3 starts out of the 4 races. He's only been able to muster 2 top 10s so far. So this could definitely be one of those wild card scenarios I'd been talking about earlier in the broadcast, that a driver deep in the running might get lucky here tonight and earn a hard-fought win. Oh, look at that. TJ Lane with a great push from Bladen Edwards, your pole setter, gets the 51 car up to the front. But then the 51 bailed on his dancing partner there, cut the 72 off, and now, or rather cut the 11 off, cut the draft off from the 72. It looks like the 72 is working all right with Jacob Boehm at the moment. The 00. Is TJ Lane going to be able to keep both lanes of traffic? He is not, as the 72 blows around the outside. So your pole sitter back to the front. Bladen Edwards leading the way. Jacob Boehm on the outside. He gets his drafting partner lost again as a kind of a conveyor belt of movement at the front. You get to the front and you drop to the bottom, leaving that outside line to kind of flounder. Oh, and the 51 thought about it. I think he can make it work. But what's the 72 going to do? Oh, wow, what a wild move. The 72 gets passed underneath. That was some high IQ strategy racing right there. You don't often see a move that gets made like that because usually the bottom line is not open. 72 might maintain the lead here. Great battle at the front for the first position. How about that? Tyler Rice up in the top 10 here tonight. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. Whoa, and that got a little bit uncomfortable for the 00 and the 72 both, as that could have been a near wreck. I was just starting to open up about Tyler Rice and how impressive it is to see him running up in the top 10. Tyler Rice has been able to move up to 9th in the points with 2 top 10s this year in 4 races run. Just seems like we don't see a whole lot of him up the front, and here he is running in the top 10 again. Larson Parker jumps to the lead, and it's kind of stabilizing here for now, single file. And it's destabilizing again to double file, right as I said that. That's the second time tonight we've seen someone drop to the bottom and just let the leaders get around them. It's maybe a kind of a safety call to just try and get out of a scenario that could end up being disastrous. That was 00 of Jacob Baim, who simply said, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to drop to the back. Stays within the lead draft, and there you see him in about 7th. "30 laps in the book, 45 laps left to go." Bladen Edwards using that outside lane to his advantage. The inside lane is not looking as potent right now. Doesn't seem like they're coordinating as well as the outside lane is. You got 4 cars pretty much nose to tail on the outside. You've got 4 cars on the inside, but they're kind of spread out. And 51 just holding on desperately on the low side to try and get that draft rolling again. Looks like they're going to be dealing with a little bit of lap traffic yet again here. Man, this is quite peculiar how that inside line is just not rolling as good as it was. Here they go around the lap traffic. Everyone dives to the low side now. But what have these drivers found about that outside line that just seems to work so well? Yeah, even the 72 just decided to go back to the high side. That's where the drafting help is. Whoa, and that was a little bit out of control. 72 keeps it going straight though. And that ended up giving the 18 the advantage to blow by. And here comes the 51 of TJ Lane yet again. Oh, and they're wrecking. They save it. Whoa, what a wow. That's one of those moments that you don't often see go right. That could have went so wrong. Kudos to Bladen Edwards. I don't know how he did it, but he managed to keep that car going forward even when he's getting spun into the other car right below him there. That was an accident that didn't happen. We're clicking through the race here tonight, folks. We're nearly at the halfway point already. And it's only been about 30 minutes of racing action, so. The excitement the series has provided is definitely on full display here tonight, as we're seeing a lot of great racing action. The leaders swapping it up. They're walking a tightrope here, trying to keep on the edge of out of control. You know, it's kind of hard to say when you're racing at super speedways that there's ever a calm before the storm. You know, the only time there's ever really a calm before the storm is when they get all single filed, running nose to tail, riding out the laps, maybe to the end of a stage. Well, there's no stage racing here in ITZR ARCA, and they're definitely not single file right now, so there is no calm. Pretty much, I can't imagine these drivers and how amped up they are right now trying to keep it cool, avoid making mistakes, and running this fast and strong all the way through. Oh, that's, okay, the 97 there, that's Jeff By Jr., who's currently a lap down. We've got 23 cars on the lead lap. Lap traffic mixed in, intermingling with the lead traffic here. Threw me a bit of a curveball. I wasn't sure if he was on the lead lap or not. Had to double check. Bladen getting a good push from Pope. Both the pushes kind of destabilized there. And now the fifth and sixth place drivers knocking on the door. Wow. I don't know if that's a second pack that's caught up. I think it is. That is our secondary pack. So we've got 22 cars right now, all within the same camera scope. All the drivers have been waiting patiently to get caught back up with the leaders, and here they come. They've got a chance. It's hard to count out anyone here at Atlanta. Once you get the draft working in your favor, anything's really possible. Got the spotlight here on Josh Oswald, who's running in 10th. Actually 11th at the moment. Your points leader, Dylan Bates, has closed in on the top of the field as well. And the nice thing for everyone is they still have plenty of laps to get stuff done. But also the scary part is once you get this packed up again, that's when mistakes are made. It's when cautions start to breed cautions. And it's been playing out like one of those calm, cool, calculated super speedway races. And could it potentially derail itself towards the end here, fighting for the win, as you got so many drivers hungry to get that win? The playoffs loom in the horizon. Oh, the 19 got into the wall pretty hard there. That would be Matthew Barkhouse, who's trying to get up into the top 10 here. Tried a little bit too hard and kissed that wall. These cars are pretty sturdy, pretty durable. Imagine he's going to be just fine getting back into it here. When is it that you make the move as a driver? With 29 laps left to go, this is kind of that window where you start to figure out where you need to be in the next 28 laps. Every move is like playing a game of chess. You're pretty much moving, thinking one step ahead. It's like if you're in the outside lane right now, you're probably wanting to get on the inside lane and figure out what's going to be the best mode of attack to get around the drivers on the inside. Then again, you never know if that outside lane wakes up again. The inside could be a sitting duck. And you have to be versatile and willing to change on a dime your game plan here tonight. Dylan Bates is closing in on the top 7 here. They wiggle around the racetrack like hydrogen molecules in water. And yet they still keep it clean. 50 laps in the books. There we go. Dylan Bates goes low. Man, was there an opening or not? The 19 looked like he had to try and go all the way off the track. Bates decides to stay high, which might be the move to make there, as he's about to get into the top 5 for the first time here tonight. Your points leader, number 91, Dylan Bates, looking stout again. Meanwhile, you've got Brandon Elvis, who's been solid in the number 4 here tonight. Bladen Edwards settles into the lead for now. 25 laps remaining here tonight. Still anyone's game. Whoa, 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 whoa. The 30 was wrecking in the background there. I don't know how Will Dravicki saved that one. We've seen quite a few moments here tonight where it looks like the driver probably shouldn't have saved it. Let us just do a quick watch of that one. That's one of those oh boy moments. Right in front of the 78 of Bame. Hits the wall again. And he's back and rolling, but a little bit worse for the wear. Wow, solid single file at the moment. The 2 lanes have totally fallen apart as they've all dropped to the inside. Gotta kind of wonder if tires degrading help contribute to a single file run here at the late half of the green flag run that we're on. Some takers down pit road, which makes me wonder if everyone's going to have to pit at least once here tonight. You had Mike Alexander, Barkhouse. Those are 2 drivers that were up front fighting for a win here tonight, that they're just now exiting pit road. There we go. Everyone's going to have to pit then, it looks like. 22 laps to go. It is pretty well mixed across the field as to who's pitting and when and where. That's going to be vital to making a key pit stop here under green flag action. And you got to be careful not to get caught speeding on pit road. That looked a little hard to whoa up for the 72 of Bladen Edwards. And this is the first time we've seen this all year here in ITZR ARCA Racing.
Caution, yellow flag.
Is green flag pit stops. Of course, I had to go ahead and jinx that as we get our caution here during the green flag pit stops. So it looks like the 13 of Todd Guerin is the reason for the caution here. Him and the 03. That looks like David Hill. No, and 3 just barely clips, right hooks him. That's a gnarly way to get wrecked here. Fast pace, getting just hooked in the left, the right rear. That's full on head-on collision in the outside wall. Tough break for the 13, who had a decent run going here up to that point. Well, this is going to take a little bit of upkeep to figure out where everyone shakes out in all the chaos and craziness here. As this is going to set us up for a good old-fashioned Monday night late race shootout with what will probably be about 16 laps to go here at Atlanta. Intensity Broadcasting would like to thank everyone that's tuned in for the race here tonight for the ITZR ARCA Series presented by the Islander Inn home of the Nauti Perch swim-up bar. This has been a much calmer race than what we've seen in the other 4 races this year from the series. We're setting up for something that's probably not going to be so calm and relaxed for the last 16 laps of this race. So your leaders, as it looks like they're giving the wave around to the other half of the field right now, it's going to be Dylan Bates, Jacob Boehm, Cody Boehm, Brandon Elvis, Eric Tracy, Tyler Rice, Josh Oswald, Tim Weinreich, Will Trevicki, AJ Rogers, Rick Rube, Jeff By Jr., Corey Bigley, TJ Allane, who was up at the front of the field, unfortunately got stung by the caution under green flag pit stops there, that he's dropped all the way back to 14th, as well as Larson Parker in 15th. We've still got 20 cars on the lead lap, and seemingly mostly everyone's still most of them still running, even if their laps down here tonight. Bill Tomer, multiple laps down. The lights are off on the pace car. We should be back to going with 16 laps here. They went ahead and extended the caution there to allow the wave rounds to get caught back up to the back end of the field. So with 20 cars on the lead lap, this pack is about to get out of control, as you have 20 cars all raring and ready to get up to speed here. Alrighty, we're back to the front of the field. The pace car pulls off as they get lined up for the restart zone here. It's going to be 16 laps to go.
Green
This
flag,
could
green
be the last restart of the race. We'll see. As is customary with the wave rounds, everyone that had the wave round had to take the inside line, so it's pretty much single file all the way to the back past the top 10. They have to stay in line with each other before they can pass. Once they get around the start-finish line, it's game on. But here we go, the battle of brewing with our leaders here. Jacob Boehm and Cody Boehm trying to hunt down Dylan Bates. Brandon Elvis in the number 4 at black and white. Train is a rollin' on the high side. In the distance, I can see TJ Allane getting back up to the front of the field again. He's got some speed, and it's not being held back here as he's charging back to the front of the field. Jacob Boehm takes over the lead from Dylan Bates. Brandon Elvis wants to go around the outside now. Oh, Boehm gets a little bit loose with the 91 pushing him there. You've also got Cody Boehm pushing the 91, so it's a freight train on that inside line. And we're back under caution here on the 14 to go mark. Well, it seems like we missed the wreck on the broadcast side here. Oh, nope, we didn't. It's right there, the 65. That is the 01 of Caleb Hill. And the 65 of Aaron Abendroth. They just connect with each other, and around goes the 01 of Caleb Hill. They're not slowing down. That's pretty hard hit on the inside wall there for the 01, unfortunately. So 12 laps to go under caution here. It's still anyone's guess as to how this race is going to play out here. We've seen some big runs from drivers in the back. I do believe TJ Allane must have pitted maybe to get some fresh tires. I don't know if we can tell in the replay here yet. Just if the replay is any indicator, must be a quick gas and go. But it could be for tires. We all know that each of these teams have one pair of fresh tires. And if anything, taking them now is probably huge, big advantage, as you'll have about a 10-lap shootout to the finish. Still can't get around getting myself to call it Echopark Speedway. I mean, it's just like Phoenix all over again when they changed the name to ISM Speedway. And they've since changed it back to Phoenix once again. I remember the days when Charlotte used to be Lowe's Motor Speedway. Funny part is I still kind of trip up and call it Lowe's Motor Speedway sometimes too, so it's just one of those first world problems, I guess, you know. So here at Echopark Speedway, we're getting ready for a restart with 10 laps to go. Brandon Elvis and Jacob Boehm, followed by Tyler Rice, Dylan Bates, Cody Boehm, and Eric Tracy. Most of those drivers are all within the top 5 points in the series. So looking to extend their points tallies for the championship battle. Brandon Elvis, kind of the outlier. We haven't seen him in all the races this year. But what races we have seen him in, he's pretty stout. He's been contending up front week in, week out right now. The pace car is off. They get into the Echopark restart zone.
Green, green, green.
We're rolling again here tonight from Atlanta. And that was a slow restart. Everyone, you could just see the that it almost looked like a turtle move, that they were that slow rolling. But they didn't get out of control. They kept it going forward here. See a couple blinkers. That's just iRacing. Telecommunications sometimes rearing its ugly head. Whoa, the 5, that's Tomer, and he got into the 72. Our pole sitter from earlier tonight, Bladen Edwards, got a little piece of that. I don't know if we've got a green-white checkers rule in this series, but we might be exercising it here tonight. So yeah, Bill Tomer in the 5 overdrives it here and cuffs the wall pretty hard. From that, he comes back down into the 72 of Bladen Edwards, gives him a little bit of a bump. That car gets a little bit airborne too. That might not have been a very little bump the way it got airborne though. Bladen Edwards with nowhere to go. He just drives into the wreck, unfortunately. The 5 getting airborne as well. Man, what a tough break there for Bladen Edwards, your pole setter. It's starting to look like a trend that maybe being the pole setter is not a good luck charm here in ITZR ARCA Racing action, as we have not seen very many of our pole setters come out smelling like roses at the end of the night. Yeah, if the 5 just gets hard into the outside wall. Ahead of them, the other 2 cars were spinning out, losing control. The 96 and the 97. 97 comes out up above. The 72's able to avoid that one, but not the 96, unfortunately. That 96 there of Eric Myers. Yeah, just must have been some slight frame rate issues there. As you saw, they got into each other, and it just looked like the 97 was blipping in and out. Tough break for Bladen Edwards. You got a feel for the guy. Had a great car, was leading a bunch of laps, qualified first, and unfortunately tangled up with lap traffic at the back of the field. Looks like they've decided to go single file for this restart, which we've seen a couple times this year in ITZR. If race can't get back to green, they go ahead and swap it to single file restarts for a start or two. The lights are off on the pace car, and we're going to have a 5-lap shootout now. Can we get green and stay green is the question. The pace car is off. They get headed into the Echopark restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
And we're back and rolling here tonight. Bates goes high on Elvis. Elvis stays low. Bame, your leader. And Tyler Rice jumping into the picture now. He can see the blood in the water. He knows that it's now or never to get the job done. Number 6 goes low on Dylan Bates. He's going for second place as Jacob Bame continues to hold the lead. Tyler Rice with a good push from the 66. But Cody Bame giving the 91 a great push on the outside. Cody Bame is going to get Dylan Bates to the front, but is Jacob Bame going to let him? Elvis goes 3 wide for third place there. He decides to let off a little bit as they're still 3 wide for fourth place. Fifth place and on. Here comes Tyler Rice with a good run on the inside. You got the ebb and the flow of the runs on the high side and the low side as they continue to swap back and forth. Jacob Bame. Oh, and they're wrecking. That looked like a nasty wreck at the back half of the field there. Unfortunately, it looks like a lane may be part of the wreck here. As you see, 4 wide, never a solid at a track like this. A little bit of net code maybe. I didn't see him make complete contact, but the cars are kind of ghosting through each other there. The 18, that's a tough one. Who had a great car here tonight, Larson Parker. TJ Allain, who had a great car, a little bit roughed up now. Oh, and the 30, they're still spinning up in. The 92 gets turned. Oh. Man, the 51 had a run. He wasn't even 4 wide up until he was 4 wide. And so the wreck continues after this initial wreck with the 51 and the 18. I'm not sure how. I mean, these two are driving just fine. 30 tries to cut down low. The 81's there, though. And it just forces the 30 to go around. The Rick Roush Honda, number 30. The worst part is when his car slides. Rather, the 92 slides into the 03 there. Looks like the 30's all right. Well, we'll see if green-white checkers are part of the series. I'll learn something here tonight that I didn't know. And it's looking like we might have to exercise it. Jacob Bame, your leader. Dylan Bates in second. Tyler Rice third. Daniel Pope the second 4th place. Cody Boehm 5th. Mike Alexander 6th. Eric Tracy 7th. Brandon Elvis 8th. Matthew Barkhouse 9th. And Josh Oswald up 18 spots here tonight in 10th. But no one tops your leader, Jacob Boehm, who's gained 29 spots to the top of the field here tonight. Had a dismal qualifying. Actually, we were watching him try to turn his qualifying lap, and qualifying cut short. So he never got to finish qualifying on his lap that he was on, and was credited with dead last here tonight. Even with dead last qualifying spot, hasn't slowed him down one bit. Maybe a bit of a strategy, knowing these super speedways, it doesn't matter where you qualify. As long as you can work your way to the front in the amount of laps that is given to you, that's all that matters. Is this going to be the last restart of the race? There's a lot of energy in the back of the field that's trying to get to the front. I can imagine how chaotic this restart's going to be. Jacob Boehm better be ready, because if he's sleeping at the wheel on this restart, he'll get overhauled. Dylan Bates, your points leader, trying to roll through tonight and maintain that points lead, while you've got the likes of Tyler Rice and Daniel Pope II trying to gain some points to get a little bit higher up into that conversation for the title.
Green flag.
We're back and rolling here tonight, and the 00 gets a good start. 91 of Bates getting a good draft, though, out of the 11. Boehm goes high and cuts him off, cuts them off into the wall. The 91 had nowhere to go there. Had a great run with the push from the 11. And he's going to transition that to a battle for the lead now. 00 seems to be a little bit slower here. It's not going as well for him. They're wrecking. We're back under caution here tonight. And I do believe it is green-white checkers. It is. Yes. Yep, it kept it, reset it to 3 laps there, so we're in the zone racing overtime as things are going to get reset here for another attempt. So this next caution that came out, let us see who was involved. Oh, wow, it's the 19 there of Matthew Barkhouse. Ooh, and that's going to be a lot of heavy hitters involved in that one. You can see the 19 of Barkhouse gets into... Wow, he just kind of lost it there and got into the 17. I want to say that is Josh Oswald. Bigley gets around the outside, but the 18, yet again, a magnet for these cautions. Larson Parker was trying to come back here tonight and gets involved in the second caution of the night for him. Tim Weinreich flies back up the track here, and that collects the 01, the 17, and the 92. Yeah, 10 was just along for the ride for the most part. Kind of lucks out not getting as much damage as the other drivers involved in the wreck. Just kind of a quick spin and spun into another car who got forced into the wall, playing bumper cars it looked like. You got to start to wonder if anyone was trying to play the fuel strategy game. How well are they going to be able to run here on multiple green-white checkered restarts? The lights are off on the pace car, and we're going to get back and rolling. Will it be the final start, final restart of the night, or are we going to see some more carnage? Looks like we're down to about 17 cars left clean. So 17 car pack here at the front. Just about half of the field involved in a wreck some sort of way here tonight. Pace car is off. Let's see if we can get it in the books here.
Green flag, green flag.
Jacob Bain with a great start. He's going to have Dylan Bates on the inside with him for the first time on the restarts here. Whoa, Cody Bain quit Tyler Rice rapidly there to move down in line with Dylan Bates. Here we are, 3 wide for second place. The advantage goes to the 91 at the moment. Tyler Rice wrecks the 11. They're wrecking. Oh, wow. And so I think all of this definitely started with the 66 of Eric Tracy. We saw him with a big run as he ran into the number 6 of Tyler Rice. And it was like a domino, or like a ping pong ball for the most part, that it pinballed the rest of the wrecks into existence, it seemed. Yeah, you can see the 66 there of Eric Tracy with a big run. That big run had nowhere to go as he ran into the number 6. And at this point, the number 6 gets way out there. Gets a little bit loose. He gets up into the 11. I think part of being loose from the 66 car running into him. It's hard to tell. And then the rest of the carnage ensues right there. Heartbreak for Mike Alexander, who had a great car again yet tonight. Seems to rear its ugly head at the worst case scenario for the number 75 car of Mike Alexander. Yeah, it's hard to tell too if the 6 got loose or what happened there. He was way up out of his line. And the 4, Brandon Elvis, had a great night going too. He gets in the wreck. 28 of Bigley, his car gets slammed hard. The cars left clean are becoming less and less here tonight. As it's starting to turn into a high potential for a Bames and a Bates lockout again at the front of the field. I think we've seen a finish like this once. Maybe not all 3 of them. We've definitely seen Bame and Bates top 3 spots in prior weeks. Jacob Bame's not often running up in the top 3. He's had some good runs. They just haven't converted over to podium finishes quite yet. Tonight might be a different story, though. That 00 has a chance to win this thing or still manage for a top 5. Even a top 3 is very much in his grasp here. Wow, Rick Rube up into the top 5. That's a name we haven't talked about. Rick Rube looking for his first top 5 of the season here in ITZR ARCA action. Even the 30 of Will Dravicki, who's been on a roller coaster ride here tonight, still looking like he can convert it into a good finish. Looks like we have 17 cars left running, when in all reality there's only about 10 of them that are not damaged, or at least noticeably damaged. As we get ready for another restart here tonight. Will we finally get to wrap it up? Dylan Bates on the inside front row for the first restart in a while. And it seemed like both lines kind of got going at the same time, so very, very clean restart. Bates to the front though. Eric Tracy's giving Jacob Boehm a great push on the high side. Dylan Bates is going to try to block both lines, and he had to abort that mission quickly as the 00 was flying at a rapid pace. Here we have Rick Rube fighting for a top 5 finish here, maybe even better. As the white flag waves, one more lap to go. Rick Rube in the top 5, Jacob Boehm on the outside of Dylan Bates, Cody Boehm, and Eric Tracy. And don't count out AJ Rogers, who's up there in the top 5 now, getting around Rick Rube. It's going to be a 3-wide battle for 3rd, 4th place. Jacob Boehm, Eric Tracy. Tracy with a bump on Jacob Boehm. It's going to be 3 wide. Or not. They're wrecking. It's the 66 of Tracy. And they all tear it up there at the finish line. Oh, boy. I don't know how to dissect that one, but it does look like Eric Tracy is your winner here tonight, folks. Holy cow. Jacob Boehm with a 2nd. Dylan Bates with 3rd. We're going to have to watch that replay. That's a replay that'll live on shorts reels for a while there. That was wild. Yes, that's the 00 of Jacob Boehm, who fortunately it just was the wrong place, the wrong time. Everyone wants the win, and you're the sitting duck that's getting run up on. He had the lead. Ooh, and it's all of a sudden you're completely horizontal to the start-finish line. He slides across the finish line in 2nd. No matter what, I don't think you can take the win away from Eric Tracy. I don't know if there's any any rules that are going to be thrown at the 91 there for the wrecking of the 00 at the finish line. That's just a racing situation there, folks. I feel like they're all just trying to push with very little room. And you had 3 by 3 by 3, and then they just couldn't hold it any longer. Your winner gets wrecked. His car gets wrecked at the finish there. Rick Rube comes out clean, as does Cody Boehm and Pope. But everyone else kind of just lawn darts in through there. Wow. Well, folks, it's about time that I interview our podium finishers here tonight. And we'll go ahead and start with our points leader, the man who finished third here tonight, Dylan Bates. I got Dylan Bates here on the line. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going.
Man, what a wild and crazy race that one turned out to be. How did you feel all night with your car?
I was, early on, I was kind of just trying to play it safe because we've got a win already, and drafting type tracks like this aren't really my thing. So kind of dropped to the back early and brought that second group back up to the field and caught back up there, and luckily we caught that yellow at the perfect time, and we were leading at that point. Then from there, just kind of went as hard as we could and did what we could do, and that restart just I probably committed one of the worst sins in restrictor plate racing and just got too far out on that restart and let them get a massive run on me. But at the end of the day, we were going to be side by side regardless, so it worked out and we were able to finish second. So we'll take it.
And you're going to maintain that points lead, which might not be the biggest point of focus right now, as the playoffs kind of change all that stuff up. So what kind of sets your mindset for the rest of the races up to the playoffs? So you're just going to try to go for wins, or what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Just go for wins. You gotta just get as comfortable as you can in this car, and that way you can perform as good as you can in the playoffs. So, the better we are, the more competitive we'll be in the playoffs. So that's the focus, just winning races.
Well, is there any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank here tonight?
Oh yeah, just all the guys at Velocity Motorsports. I think we swept the top three, maybe four tonight. I'd have to look at the results. I don't remember who was fourth on back, but yeah, we were for sure swept the top three. So fun to race with those guys and work the draft like that. A lot of fun.
Is Cody Bain part of the crew?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you guys got top four. So
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm still taking notes here, and I'll make sure to keep notes on that. So thanks again. Had a great night, and hopefully have another great one next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. And that was our third place driver here tonight, Dylan Bates, your points leader, maintaining that points lead here tonight. Next in line, we're going to have our second place driver, Jacob Boehm. How's it going, Jacob Boehm? How did you feel out there tonight on the Super Speedway of Atlanta?
I figured that today was probably my best chance to win. I'm usually really good on super speedways, drafting, utilizing the teamwork that is available, which you can't really do on short tracks aside from pit cycles. So, bummer that it played out the way it did. I thought I had myself in a good position there on the outside, and I misjudged Dylan's run. I tried to throw a last-second block when, in retrospect, I didn't have to. I had the thing in the bag and I just tossed it away. So, happy to come out with the top three, and happy that the top three consisted of Velocity Motorsports guys.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. A team effort to get all three cars and four cars in the top four there, and it's definitely a great points night. With your mind, you kind of setting up for the next couple races. Is it going to be just kind of getting points, or what are you thinking? How do you feel with the next tracks on the schedule?
To be quite frank, I don't know exactly where we're off to next over the next couple weeks, but I know that I feel like I'm capable of winning just about every week. It's just a matter of not burning out my tires too much. Typically the half a mile or bigger tracks, I typically screw myself on pit strategy and tire wear. So just try to align myself with the likes of Dylan Bates, Bladen Edwards, and whatnot. So hopefully I can just learn off of them and go from there. But yeah, tonight was my one shot of no strategy. Strategy didn't matter. It was just uh, teamwork. So
Right. Yep. No, these super speedway races tend to be kind of a lucky, you know, a wild card event for most words or ways to explain it. So, any family, friends, sponsors you want to thank here tonight?
I got to thank yourself for broadcasting. You guys put on a great broadcast every week. I enjoy going back and watching it over. Got to thank Bill Tomer, Jeff, and everybody that puts on ITZR. And last but not least, got to thank Josh Oswald and VMS, the teamwork that we bring week in and week out. It's pretty enjoyable. So shout out to them.
Much appreciated, and yeah, thank you for everyone that's putting on the shows. These races are exciting to call, and I enjoy it. Have a great night, and we'll see you on to the next one.
Thank you. You too.
And so, with the last driver to interview here tonight, it is the race winner, number 66 of Eric Tracy. Eric Tracy, do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
How was it tonight? Did you enjoy this race, or was it, do you like these style of races, and how did how did it pan out to getting up front there for you? It was kind of wild.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, no, I don't particularly like these type of races. I usually end up in wrecks. Tonight, I just managed to be in the right spot at the right times, I guess. And, I actually kind of had initially intended to kind of run in the back for a while, but I ended up qualifying, I think, 6th or 7th, and was like, well, can't really get out of this pack now, so just kind of stayed up there the whole race. And it ended up working out coming to the line.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, sometimes luck's. It's always good to have a little bit of luck once in a while, and it looks like you definitely had a little bit of luck here tonight. How about? I mean, now that you got the win, that means you're locked in for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, that should take care of that. I mean, I think I was 3rd or 4th in points, so I was feeling pretty good as long as I didn't have any major problems that I'd probably be okay, but this pretty much just takes any of those concerns out now, so should be locked in and good to go.
So is it gonna change your approach to Martinsville and Five Flags the next couple weeks here?
No, probably not. Not really. I tend to race the same no matter what really is. I try to keep my nose clean as much as I can. Save the car till the end, and then try to do something at the end.
You feel
So that'd probably be my approach anyway.
Do you feel comfortable with those tracks coming up? Like them?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy Martinsville. It's a little weird in iRacing in the sense of like the you can't really hit like you can in real life without wrecking people, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy the racetracks, so I'm looking forward to them.
Well, what about any sponsors, friends, and family want to thank for getting you to this point here tonight?
I mean, basically just all the VMS guys. We did a pretty good job of kind of staying up front after that caution cycle worked out, and it was going to be one of us. We were doing, trying to get do a good job of maintaining the control of the race after that, and we did a good job of that, so it worked out well.
And for my record keeping, I just wanted to know: is there more than 4? Or is VMS pretty much the top 4? Is that only 4 cars in the team?
No, there's more.
Okay.
T Rice is also Josh Oswald, Rick Rube. There's and several more that I haven't mentioned, but there's I think 8 or 9 of us that run in the league. So,
man, all of you were up there today, and congratulations on getting the win. So,
well, I appreciate that.
Hopefully we'll see you again in the next races, and have a great night. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, sounds good. You too.
On that, folks, is a wrap here tonight from Atlanta Super Speedway, or otherwise known as Echopark Automotive Speedway. Congratulations yet again to Eric Tracy on getting the win. That's going to help him in that title battle, as he was within the top 5 in points before tonight, and there's a good chance he could come out top 3 in the points with the absence of Peyton Howell, who didn't show up here tonight. So, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. It was definitely an action-packed, intense race here tonight. Very suitable of the Intensity Broadcasting label. I'm happy to call these races week in, week out, and I'm excited for next week already. We'll be getting back into it with Martinsville in just 1 week time. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this is Jakester.